What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back to the old subscribers. Doing some July readings for all the signs. I'm on the sign of Capricorn. And when I'm shuffling, I basically see that there's you guys want to have a conversation. Some of you guys want to have a conversation about, maybe cutting out some things in your life. There's some clarity coming into you guys, maybe when it has something to do with taking a leap of faith with someone. I feel like some of you guys are really disconnected with how you truly feel. Maybe some of you guys are kind of living in a fantasy, like in your own little bubble by yourself. But it's time to have that conversation because that's going to move you forward, especially if you're dealing with the twin. And there's a cycle here that could be starting. But I feel like it's more about being on the right path with the right person, because for some of you, taking this leap of faith is on the right path for you. But I just feel like there's a conversation that needs to be had, or just something that you need to have a little bit more clarity about, because there is somebody that you guys love, someone that you do want to move forward. I see that things will be moving forward for you guys. But in a partnership, you have to remember that it's about two different people. It's not just one. It needs a lot of patience and compassion to bring this really deep love in two people. It's a balance of love between two people. And I feel like some of you guys need to get over some old shit in the past, whether that's relevant to now or whatever the case may be, because I know that my earth signs can be a little stubborn about how they do things, about why they do things. You guys could be dealing with someone who's also very stubborn, someone that you want a second chance with, but I think some of you guys realize that you need to move away from someone. Underlying energy is the Ten of Wands, carrying this burden yourself, feeling like it's just really stressful right now. Maybe this other person is really stressed out. For some of you guys, this is, a significant person in your life, or maybe this is just your energy. Because I feel like you have an idea about what you want to do with your life, whether it comes to just finances or just in general. But it's ever been is just this idea. It's like some kind of news, I think, is coming in for you guys this month. But along with that comes the fact that you guys need to be really perceptive. You need to be logical. Be really honest with another person in your life, especially one who kind of makes you just want to run away and be by yourself because you feel like it's just mentally exhausting, because someone brings a lot of drama into the situation. There's rivalry, there's disagreements, there's obstacles. It feels like there's always other people competing for this, but it's like you guys are figuring out what your wish come true is, what is going to bring you happiness and abundance in your life. And for some of you, it is having a conversation about having this stable relationship. Some of you guys want to come back together with someone. Some of you guys just want to, be in a stable place with this person that you care about. But at the same time, it's having fun, celebrating, being with friends. But there's a level of fear around this because of past toxic behavior, perhaps. There's some things that need to be healed. I think it's about kind of realizing that some things are kind of meant to be, even if you don't understand them, because it's about kind of having the hope and the inner clarity for this. Because I think that you guys are figuring out what it is that you want. But right now, you're just kind of holding back, and you're not telling anybody. You're trying to become stable, but it's just you're going to be moving in a new direction, but along with that means going towards what you want and what you're passionate about, but it also means pulling away from someone or someone pulling away from you. And maybe I think there's going to be some money news, like a new job, or someone's going to be putting time into this situation. But I feel like it is finances and love, and maybe that's what's kind of what you're torn between the two, because you don't know how to make a compromise or a decision about this person. There's a love offer here, but at the same time, this person is really immature with how they express their feelings. So when you were in a relationship, still are, I think that it's time to make a final decision on them, because some of you guys are dealing with some pretty rough heartbreak here and loss, and I think that it has something to do with the other person that you're involved with, because you also have the Empress. So you guys have more than one person, but one of these people is walking away, and I think it's because you guys haven't really made a decision. Somebody walked away from one person to be with someone else, only to figure out that's not what they wanted. So now there's more than one person in the situation where they're just heartbroken, because the grass wasn't greener on the other side, and someone's kind of walking away from this. And they're trying to follow their path for their life, and I think that with them walking away causes this change of direction for you, causes this, and maybe it was you guys that walked away, but it's causing this shift in energy where you are ready to take a leap of faith into something else, but you're just really confused about this person or just a decision because you don't know what to do right now, because you have a lot of things coming at you at once, and it's finances, it's family, it's relationships, and I feel like some of you guys feel like someone's kind of keeping secrets, or this is how someone feels about you. It's like this person wants you, they see you as one of their choices, but they feel like you're still lying about some things, because in the past there was all of this loss, regret, grief. This is still pretty relevant to the situation, so someone's kind of hermiting by themselves, because I think that it just comes down to a choice that they've never really made. It's like there's more than one person, and it's like it's just begging the question of, have you made a decision? Do you know what you want, or are you still involving a bunch of people in this? Because the Three of Wands talks about being hopeful and waiting and looking towards the future, but this also talks about having more than one person. And in this expansion and this travel, I mean, there's love here for somebody. I think that someone's going to be coming into clarity that there is love here, but I think that what you guys thought was love wasn't, and you were really confused about that up until now because of the situation. You guys are going to be grounding yourselves this month. There's going to be victory in making a decision for your life that brings on this growth and expansion, like really good things. For some of you, it's going to be, just being recognized. There's victory in the situation, like a raise or getting a really good job. But there needs to be a decision to push that forward, to decide to grow in the situation, because I think that you guys have thought a lot about, what you want to put your time into and like what you want to do now. But along with that has came some pretty heavy fights and somebody pushing someone out, someone just feeling like they've been hurt a lot in this situation. And for some reason, they're always the ones getting hurt in this because of another situation that was abusive that someone brought into their life. And that energy needs to be cleared because you guys know what you want. And I think that this person that you're dealing with also knows what they want. And I think that they're about ready to end this cycle with you because of the way that things went. And that means someone is going to be left out in the cold unless you guys decide to work on this with this person, trying it in a new way, being able to learn something in a new way. Instead of being stuck in your head, there needs to be some type of ending to this old toxic energy, and having that logical intention and being bold enough to think about things and like cut some people out of your life perhaps, or just communicate in a logical way. And I think that communication is really huge for you guys this month, because I feel like you guys don't really communicate. So a lot of people like get you guys messed up because they don't know how you feel because you've never really said it. It's like you want people to understand that your actions are speaking for your words, but that's not always the case, because sometimes things need to be said, especially when you're dealing with a soulmate. And honestly, I think that you guys are kind of confused because you didn't realize this person was your soulmate, and I think that you guys thought it was someone else, someone that you possibly were married to, someone from your childhood. This possibly still could be something that happens for someone in a situation where you go back to someone and have this reunion and, have this solid ground, get married or engaged, whatever the case may be. But I feel like there's just a lot of things not being said. There's a decision that's not being made, and someone could be being manipulative in this situation. And I think that you guys are going to have this clarity about this person in your life this month, that kind of always is stuck in two minds. I think that this person is offering you love, but you are kind of thinking about somebody else, somebody that you're waiting for. And so you're not really paying attention to this other person that was here to offer you love. Or maybe this is going to be you taking on the energy and finally stepping up and offering this love to someone that you love. But you guys need the strength to get past this past deception, and if you guys are running away from someone, it's like you need to get over that. It's a behavior that needs to be fixed, because someone's just really defensive, because someone was here and it's like they were giving you this equal give and take, or maybe this is what you weren't getting and that's why you're defensive. But you're just still being disconnected in your feelings, and I think that's going to be ending this month, because you're going to have passion for someone and you're going to want this. This urge is going to be here in balancing out your emotions and kind of, realizing the truth about a situation, and who really makes you happy. Something that you do need to move away from. Some of you guys might need to move away from a soulmate, but at the same time, this twin is still relevant, and I think that you guys are confused about what kind of soulmates you have, and that some people aren't meant to be in your life forever, because it's like, this ending is here. You know that something is over, but you're just stuck in your head about it. You're like, maybe a little bit confused. I mean, there's just a lot of stress around this. It's like, this is really stressful. Now, this could be you. Like I said, I feel like it could be someone you're dealing with. Someone in your life probably needs your help. And you're just like, you don't really know who to help, because you aren't really in the position to help someone right now, because there's a lot of shit that needs to be taken care of right now. Some of you guys are really stuck in your ways. Some of you guys have people that, and it could be in a job situation or whatever, but I feel like you have people that are trying to work with you, but you're just kind of concerned about yourself. You're focusing on yourself this month, maybe regaining your power by going to work and balancing your finances, because the Emperor is this respectable father figure, and it's like having a plan, being the head of the household. And I think that you guys are going to be getting a job, but it's like, be mindful of the intentions that you have when you're doing this, because this just looks like you are doing things for yourself, that you're only about yourself. But that might not be the case, because you could just be trying to build up your assets for your family and kind of build this solid ground, but it looks like this is the only thing you care about. And maybe that's the case. Maybe you guys are trying to take on this energy, and the only way to do that and to get yourself stable is to be by yourself and figure out how to be independent, because you guys are going to be having clarity about somebody in your life. There's something that needs to be said to someone who has more than one person. There needs to be an ending here to someone, and I think that it needs to be an ending to a third-party situation. And I think that, you're starting off with being single, but at the same time, I think that this part of you needs to have a conversation with someone about this friendship or whatever type of situation that this is. Either things need to be like changed, and this does talk about really big changes and endings and rebirth, but it also talks about letting go and moving on for some of you. You know that there's someone that you need to let go and move on from. And I think you're going to be having clarity about that, or you're actually going to be speaking it into existence this month, because I feel like there's a situation here that never changes, that there's always another person involved, so it all constantly leaves you in this third-party situation. And I feel like in order for you guys to become stable, you have to focus on yourselves right now. And so the only way to do that is to cut someone out. I think that there's someone that you guys are dealing with that has some mental issues, and in turn now that's being reflected onto you. And I think that this is something that you're aware of in this person, and you know that you need to move away from this. This talks about some pretty severe anxiety, grief, like depression, mental health issues that are pretty severe. Now, it's at the 9, so I think that this could be something that was in the past, but I feel like there's someone in this situation who has a pretty severe mental illness. So you're kind of taking on the responsibility by yourself, but at the same time that this is just something isn't working. And I think that some of you guys want a second chance with someone, or maybe this is someone you just recently went back to to try to work this out again, but there needs to be a decision made about this situation. Like, what are we going to do about this? Like, you can't fix someone's mental illness, you know what I mean? If this is you, maybe making the decision to move away from this month would also be relevant. And the only way to do that is to focus on yourself and your finances, but be mindful of a situation where you're the one carrying everything yourself. You're the one having to hold everyone up. And good or bad, you know what I mean? I think that you guys are starting to see something about someone in your life that you know needs to end. And you also need to make a decision about how you're thinking, how you're feeling, how another person is feeling, and you guys need to move away from something, because for some of you, you know, you're taking on this really solo, independent energy, and you could be dealing with a Scorpio, but there are some things that need to be transitioned here. And there could be a really big change in this situation with this person that's caused somebody to move on. And it could be this water sign. Because you took on the energy of, or maybe you said, I want to be single, I don't want to be in a relationship, that's going to cause this person to move away from you. And I see a whole lot of threes, and I think it's about time you make a decision, Capricorn, and I'm not trying to be rude, but somebody you're dealing with has a lot of people involved in this, and they're telling you to make a decision about this. If you want things to go in your favor, you need to make a decision about people with a lot of people, because that never ends well for anyone. Standing in your power, being able to have the structure and the plan for something in your life, speaking it into existence, and then what? Still being stuck in your head? Or are you going to be having clarity about what this really is this month? Realizing that this person might have more issues than you knew about before, that you kind of see it a little bit clearer now, and you need to make a decision on how you want to move that forward or not to move it forward, because someone is really disconnected with how they feel, because there's this major thing that's about to blow out completely. And then in that is going to bring in the clarity and the truth about what it is that you want, and balancing your emotions. But this is only going to happen once you move away from something in your life, whether it's energy, whether it's people, whether it's just a level of stress and toxicity and mental shit to bring you your happiness. But that's going to require action. That's going to require you taking that lead, being intentional, powerful, and quick. And it has to be a strategic thought, a strategic plan to move this in a different direction. Because I think that you guys right now are kind of sitting back and just like paying attention, but I don't know if you're doing anything about it, you know? The Angel of Love has shown up a few times when I've been shuffling. But I feel like along with love coming in for you also brings envy into your life from another person. And it has something to do with the contract, whether it is a job, whether it's a marriage, a relationship, whatever the case may be. They're telling that you need to take action on this. Something needs to be done, and there's more than one possibility on how to get this done. There's more than one possibility in the situation that you maybe aren't aware of. For some of you, there's, you need to take action on your finances. Like, this door of value is open and money will be coming in for you, but you need to make a decision on other things to bring the abundance into your life. If you don't take any action, then you're not leaving any room for anything new to be in. You're just kind of sitting in the same energy, the same stress, and the same shit. And I think that they're telling you to boss up a little bit, especially when it comes to a contract you guys are in. Some of you guys are dealing with a broken heart, whether it's you or another person, and I think that there's something that you want to say about this, or something that you want to do about this, or maybe it's about picking yourselves up even though this is how you feel, and moving yourself forward one step at a time to get yourself out of a situation instead of staying stagnant in it. It just keeps showing me action, Capricorn, so I'd be very mindful. And I think that if you decide not to take any action, you're going to stay in this broke situation where everything just feels like there's cobwebs where money is involved. And I mean, it's almost like they're forcing you to make a decision for your life, but it's going to bring you really good things. But it's like some of you guys need to take action on a family situation. And a false sense of attachment. Some of you guys are attached to someone that maybe you're realizing who they are now, and what you're really attached to isn't healthy for you. In fact, it's very toxic, and you need to make a decision about this. With this action you take for your life, there's going to be money coming in. And I know how that you guys are, and I've seen action at least 10 times. You guys need to take the action in this situation. Take on the role of the King of Swords and move with intention and quick, you know. It needs to be quick. They want you to do it now. It says, let your friends help you, ask for and accept help from others, and heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. There needs to be a conversation about something that's going on here, and it has something to do with unrequited love. There's somebody you guys are involved with in your situation that you don't even love. But you don't want to hurt them because you're afraid of their mental state, or maybe you've never been able to, maybe you're just not having the clarity about this. That maybe you really don't love this person that you keep trying to make it work with, and it's just constantly putting you in a third-party situation. It says, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. And trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Releasing and healing is forgiving and learning. This is really relevant right now to karma. And believe me, when you don't want to be stuck in this for another 10 years, that you need to release something. And it has a lot to do with the energy, and for some of you it's the people. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Now, when you're calling in your soulmate, make sure that you're not calling this person back into your life. The one that they're calling on you to make a decision about. This person that you keep drawing yourself back to try to make shit work is someone you need to move away from. And I think that you feel bad about it, but you know that it's necessary. You were never the only one in this person's life. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. For some of you, this is a really deep-rooted family issue, and I'm not Dr. Phil, and I'm not here to give you advice about, telling you what you should do with your life. But this is all about going back to where everything started for us. And a lot of us started when we were younger. The dynamic of the family that we grew up with. And then it transferred into the relationships in our life now. And we need to be very mindful of the patterns that we're putting ourselves in. The karmic debts and the karmic ties that we have with people. Because this is also a soulmate for some of you. But it's karmic. It's a lesson that you need to learn that will keep being repeated until you make the decision to move forward. I think that some of you guys have this vision of what your home should be, of where home is to you. And they want you to have patience with this situation. Because love is here, but I just feel like you guys aren't really paying attention to it. The person that truly loves you, you don't even notice them. Because you are all about this temptation that you have. And it's kind of ruling some of your guys' lives. This fantasy, this lust, probably having to do with family and tribe. These are all really relevant things to your life this month. And I think that there's some sort of temptation that always draws you back to another person, that it isn't what you think it is. And you guys have been procrastinating on this for a very long time. It's time to say what you mean, Capricorn. Even if someone doesn't want to hear it, because you're self-sabotaging yourself. These demons have been on your back for a very long time. And it's like you know they're there. there's beauty here, remembering that it's about self-esteem for some people. Help from above, you're being assisted by the angels, and getting out of this rejection mind state, because I think that that's pretty relevant to the situation as well. Sexuality is a pretty big one here as well. There might be someone that's into some kinky shit, and I'm just gonna leave that alone. Then you have alchemy, so it's about being the person who can bring whatever you want into your life. You're holding that power. You have it in your hands. It's like, what do you want to do with it, though? Some of you guys are going to be discovering your life purpose sometime in the near future, and your soulmate is also near to you at all times. Or they're getting closer, and I think that's why when you're getting closer to your soulmate, there's going to be some more rivalry that's brought into your life to kind of distract you. So be mindful, especially if you you have a spiritual connection or you're on a spiritual journey. There's going to be things put in your life to distract you on purpose of what you're really here for. So, some of you guys want a reunion with someone that you're the main one that is like carrying all the weight of this. And this person's only about themselves. So you guys are kind of disconnected from your feelings right now because it's just too much stress. And I think that in all of this, you guys are going to be grounding yourself. And you know that who you want now. But there's just been a lot of fighting. Maybe you fought with someone that you care a lot about. Someone that you can see yourself committed to. But this energy is pretty much relevant to a lot of things that I've seen when it comes to you guys. Carrying the old betrayal with you. This energy needs to be released so that if you do want to move forward, you're going to move forward in a better way. Instead of pushing people away or running away from your feelings, letting these changes come in, letting this transition happen. But along with that, it's about letting go and moving on. Eliminating the toxic shit. And it's not that some of you guys are just like so paranoid to release the situation because you don't realize it's the energy, it's not the person. It's the energy that's surrounding that's toxic. For some of you it is the person, but it's more the energy that you're drawing back into your life because you're not letting it go. And this is what we're bringing into our lives constantly. This is what's relevant to our lives. Deception, betrayal, cheating, lying, stealing, and the devil. It's toxic as fuck, and it needs to be released. Especially if you want to be, like if there's someone that you want to be with. Alright, have a good day, guys.